Hello everyone, this is Arathon Hanzo, and today we have our first look into Ravnica Remastered. One of the first things revealed was the Cloudstone Curio, and a quick view at all of the treatments that will be available in the set. So we see the Curio in its normal form, a retro frame, and a Japanese art style. They explained that the Japanese anime style is a theme that debuted in War of the Spark, which was also on Ravnica. Next up we see Nico Bolas, Dragon God, who has a you win the game mechanic as his ultimate if opponents don't control a legendary creature or a planeswalker. Then we see Savra, Queen of the Golgari, in each of her 3 treatments. She has some standard sacrifice effects to force others to sack creatures when you do, or to gain life. And lastly, we see all 3 treatments of Karlov. Now they go on to discuss what the mana slot is going to be inside of the Ravnica Remastered Draft Booster. Instead of having basic lands inside the Draft Boosters, you'll have this mana slot that will provide either a Guild Gate, which is a tap land in each guild's colors. Not shown but discussed is that the guild gates will also come as a retro frame version as well. And these are already viewable in the card image gallery. Then there is the chance to get one of the signets, which are artifacts that when you pay 1 give you both mana in the guild's colors. There are also rares available on this slot in the form of the Shock Lands or a Chromatic Lantern. Next we'll follow Wizard's example and cover each of the guilds in order alphabetically. From Azorius we were shown Lavinia Azorius Renegade, great to stop some ramping opponents or discover mechanics. Sphinx's Revelation is back. This card's effect is also printed on Detective Props cards in Murders in Karlov Manor, so we'll see what it's like as a creature card as well soon. Warden dual card is shown next as the combat trick plus beefy token generator. Then we see a group of uncommons from Azorius here, some of the popular Wizards counters, and Flyboys from earlier Ravnica sets. All of the guild mages will be available from all 10 guilds as well. Here's a quick peek at some of the popular commons featured in Azorius. Judge's Familiar here is downshifted to common, so go birds when drafting, they're just free birds. All the cards seen here will also feature the retro treatment. The second guild featured is Boros. Starting off with 3 cards we see featured the Blazing Archon, providing some protection from attackers, a Hellkite Tyrant doing dragon things and stealing artifacts when it attacks. It also has a win condition if you control 20 or more artifacts. Lastly, there is Response Resurgence, a dual card, with a nice pair of combat tricks in Boros. A set of Boros uncommons now with a Boros Guild Mage and his activated abilities, the popular Lightning Helix, which will become standard legal quickly after Ravnica Remastered releases in Murders at Karlov Manor. The Boros commons have a splattering of soldiers and a knight. The battalion keyword here is helping all these cards grow together when attacking in a large group. Boros Booster Fund treatments here, a full art and a retro frame for the Hellkite Tyrant, and retros for the other cards shown here. Dimir rares are up next. Lazov the Multifarious is the shapeshifter for the set, able to assume the form of any other creature in your graveyard. The Jumbo Heavy here, Mind Leech Mass, which when it deals combat damage to a player will let you cast a spell from their hand for free. The dual card Connive Concoct does some drawing or steals a creature for a turn. The uncommons include the Guild Mage with some activated abilities to draw or make a player discard, then a trio of powerful flyers here, including Moroi. The commons include the Balustrade Spy, so keep in mind that it's still banned in Pioneer, but its anti-cascade effect will definitely fill a graveyard. Persistent Petitioners is also making an appearance, so just be prepared to mill. Quick peek next at all the Dimir Booster Fund treatments. Now Golgari drops in next with a Golgari Grave Troll, some funky counter mechanics and the Dredge mechanic. From what I understand for Ravnica Remastered, almost every mechanic printed on a Ravnica card is making an appearance. Something like 23 to 26 mechanics from the past will make it into this set. Deathrite Shaman brings some graveyard hate, being able to throw away almost every type of card for a different effect. Then our dual card is Fine Finality, some recursion or a potential board wipe. The uncommons start again with the Guild Mage, where you can sack a creature or bring one back from the graveyard to your hand, or put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Lots of stuff here to drag cards back up out of the graveyard, or to kill for good others. The Golgari commons, we see some Scavenge cards here, creating counters from dead creatures. In Booster Fund now for Golgari, I do think I'm becoming nostalgic for the old gold border, so I really like the Putrefy here. Gruul coming in with the first mythics I think we've seen so far in Ilhard the Raise Boar, who brings creatures from your hand straight to the battlefield and attacking, and then back to your hand at end step. Even when he dies, he can go right to the near top of the library to be threatening again in a few turns. Domri makes an appearance, a triumvirate of great abilities here from finding creatures faster to removal and eventually what should be a game-ending ultimate. The dual card is Thrash Threat, a removal or creature depending on what you need. Gruul uncommons include the downshifted Wormweaver Coil, so don't be shocked to see a bunch of them floating around in drafts. Gruul commons doing what we'd expect, good protection and combat tricks, while Cantor is a strange mana dork that just has to die to make mana, but you're playing Gruul, so just play more creatures, right? The Booster Fund shows off some of the full arts here. I really do want to just start a war collection from all these cards. Also, we see Domri getting to ride Ilharg in his anime version, so that's pretty cool. Izzet features its Planewalker as well. Quadruplicate back is in here to cause some blue control frustration. Ral Zarek with an ultimate that can be really good or a full-on bust. Then the dual card is Expansion Explosion, another copy spell or big damage. Izzet uncommons with a creepy looking Guildmage, and I can call him creepy because I play goblins, so I'm creepy. Cackling Drake here is a more evil version of Haughty Djinn. Commons include the Goblin Electromancer, so I'm sure I'll be seeking out some of these in all treatments. And Burning Prophet, strong as a 2-drop, helping you check out the top deck for what's coming and hopefully providing some good defense as a 1/3. Booster Fund now, also including the anime version of Ral Zarek. And wow, just looking at the retro blue border, you can see the color match and the artwork in the original borders is far superior to the way it is now. From the Orzhov Guild, we see the Kaya Orzhov Usurper Planeswalker card who can exile cards and then eventually deal damage equal to exiled cards. Teysa Orzhov Scion can sack white creatures to exile anything and create spirit tokens when black creatures die. Then the dual card here is Revival Revenge, which will do some low-level graveyard recursion or do some life total shenanigans. Orzhov uncommons, of course, includes the Guild's Mage who can pump or take life for 3 mana. Stab Wound returns as well, and a lot of creatures that make spirit tokens on death. In the commons, we have some more keywords with Extort showing up to gain life and opponents lose life whenever you cast a spell, and Haunting is back. Mark Rosewater said this mechanic was dead, but here it is in Ravnica Remastered. In the Booster Fund, we see a nice looking Teysa anime card. I like this a lot better than normal art. I wonder if there's just an extended art here too that we haven't seen yet. Rakdos Rare shows off some more power. Infernal Tutor having the payoff for playing fast and dumping your hand. Priest of the Forgotten Gods is providing a way to remove opponents' big creatures with 2 of yours and provide card advantage back. Then Bedeck Bedazzle for the dual card. Rakdos Uncommons bringing back Demon Fire as a good exile removal, and the Guildmage is able to make goblin tokens or kill weenies on its own. Mayhem Devil as well as a payoff for sacrificing creatures, allowing you to do 1 damage to anything even when your opponent sacrifices. In the commons, Skewer the Critics is here, which I love. 3 damage for 1 is back if you hit an opponent first. In Booster Fund treatments, I'll need 3 copies of this Retro Skewer to match my Retro Sneak Attacks. 3 copies? Yeah, 3 copies. Selesnya Rares are here as a fetch card in Court of Calling, then a 6-drop Tolsmere Wolfblood. The dual card is a Sure Assemble, providing either a combat trick or some board widening with 3 Vigilance tokens. The uncommons, of course, have a Guildmage who can make tokens or pump your creatures by 1 for a turn. 2 Arms is a nice combat trick so you can swing out on a turn prior, then surprise your opponent after they declare attackers. Devouring Light looks like it would be a good to bait out some combat tricks, declare a blocker, then tap it to help with the Convoke cost if your opponent casts anything. In the commons, we see a lot of Convoke show off, creating tokens and then convoking out your removal, combat tracks, and big creatures here. Booster Fund for Selesnya. See a couple of guilds now without an anime card in a bit, so we'll have to see what we aren't seeing here, or go check them out in the card image gallery, which is available now for the entire set. The Simic Rares feature Prime Speaker Zagana, a Void Slime which can counter even triggered abilities, then a Repudiate Replicate dual card. The Simic Guildmage leads off the uncommons, which can move counters and auras around your permanents. Frilled Mystic is a 3/2 creature counter spell for 4 mana. Simic commons include the Cloudfin Raptor, who will keep growing as you play more creatures. Coiling Oracle also here to quickly ramp or get some card advantage. A few pictures here for Simic Booster Fund, with a final version of the anime Prime Speaker Zagana. Lots of merfolk around since this standard year started. Now that we've seen all the guilds, we get to see some of the gates that will appear in the mana slot. Gate Colossus is the payoff card here for owning all 10 gates. There are some cards in Ravnica Remastered that are also only in collector boosters and not in play boosters. These cards didn't really mix well into the draft format, so they weren't included in the draft boosters, so they became collector booster only versions. First examples are these retro versions of Shambling Shell, Sphere of Safety, Aetherize, and Narcomoeba. Next up are versions of Turnabout, Creeping Chill, Dark Blast, and Shattering Spree. Some uncommons now in Perilous Forays, Wilderness Reclamation, and Mage Rite Stone. Also only available in the collector booster is Pack Rat and its anime version. This card being deemed too powerful for the draft booster in its retro frame and is only available in draft as the anime version. Then some final retro versions to see: a Pithing Needle, Karn's Bastion, and Thespian Stage. Then some bombs here in Enter the Infinite, Niv Mizzet Reborn, and Maze's End. These cards are also only available in collector boosters. The release promo card is going to be this Niv Mizzet the Firemind, likely not legal in your pre-release though. There are also serialized versions of these cards out of 500. 64 total cards in Ravnica Remastered will be serialized. Wow, I didn't know what I'd be able to do if I actually got a serialized Birds of Paradise though. I'm pretty sure I hang on to it forever. I don't think I sell it. Let's take a quick look through each booster type here and how it's going to be structured. Draft boosters having 1 rare or mythic rare, the mana fixing card, 3 uncommons, then a slot that has a common or retro common and uncommon. The 9 common slots, and then the foil card is in 33% of packs here and can have any rarity replacing a common. There are no set boosters in Ravnica Remastered. So we'll look at the collector booster next. It has 1 foil alt frame rare or mythic rare, or the serialized card in the first slot. Then a non-foil borderless anime or shockland of rare or mythic rarity, non-foil retro rare or mythic, then the foil rare or mythic, 1 foil retro framed or borderless common and uncommon, 2 non-foil retro borderless common and uncommon, 1 foil artifact or land, 3 foil uncommons, 4 foil commons, and a double-sided token. To check out all the percentages, look at the Wizards article on collecting Ravnica Remastered. Wow, that was a whole lot of cards to show off and talk through. There's a whole lot coming back mechanic-wise in the set too to get prepared for. I don't think I quite understand Haunt well enough yet to make that work either, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.